Hello and welcome to Theatre.Reviews with Paul Seven. I'm here at the Old Vic to see Machinal. Machinal was written in 1928 by Sophie Treadwell, who based her Expressionist play on a recent true crime story of a woman who had murdered her husband. Keep watching and I'll explore what exactly Expressionist theatre is, how the lead actor gives what could either be the performance of her lifetime or the launch of a stellar career. Plus, how do you pronounce the title? But first, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Let's start with the title. In recent years, it's tended to be pronounced Machinal. The logic is that it's a French word, and that's how the French pronounce it. However, the word means mechanical, so there is some sense in pronouncing it Machinal, especially if you want to convey the theme of a play in which a woman is crushed by a mechanised, soulless society. And that's how it was pronounced during the original Broadway production back in 1928. Add to which, that's the way the current lead, Rosie Sheehy, pronounces it. And since she is what turns this production from good to great, I would be happy to accept that. Except the playwright herself, Sophie Treadwell, said it should be pronounced Machinal. And given that the play shows a woman being marginalised and ignored, it does seem wrong to do that to the author. So, with due respect to Rosie Sheehy, I'm sticking with Machinal. Okay, Machinal tells the story of a young woman, named only at the end, who feels trapped by society, repelled by what goes on around her, and is consistently betrayed by men. We see her claustrophobic on the subway train, struggling in an office where she's a typist, mocked for her lateness by her colleagues, at odds with her unsupportive mother, played by Buffy Davis, unhappily at home with her repulsive husband, a slimy businessman played by Tim Francis. Then she's liberated by an affair, and after that there's no going back. She frees herself from her husband, and stop watching now if you don't want a spoiler, although I think it is expected by all involved that you'll know she goes on to kill her husband and is then tried by judge, jurors and lawyers who are all men. And all this is told as a piece of Expressionist theatre. Now, Expressionism is really defined more by what it's not, and what it's not is naturalistic or realistic. The dialogue, the acting, the sound, the whole production combine to evoke a visceral reaction from the audience. Well, of course, naturalistic theatre can evince an emotional response, but that tends to come from our observation and identification with the drama. Sophie Treadwell divides her play into 9 scenes, although Richard Jones's production, which originated at the Theatre Royal Bath, adds an opening scene in which the young woman is shown entrapped on a crowded train. Each scene has a generic title which is raised above the set, like At Business or Law. And while everyone else is sharp-suited, wears black or grey and moves with precision, Rosie Sheehan's character is sweaty and clad in an ill-fitting blue dress. And she too doesn't fit. She's not even comfortable in her own body, moving jerkily and nervously. And while not actually shy, when she speaks, she's often inarticulate and stuttering as she tries to express her need for freedom. The machine-like life around her, driven by industrial capitalism, is shown not only by the way people look, but by the way they move mechanically and talk in repetitive, cliched language. The language might remind you of Harold Pinter. This can be funny, but the humour is pretty bleak. The set, designed by Hyemi Shin, is a bright, sickly mustard yellow that forms a triangle on the stage with the apex at the centre back, reinforcing the idea of being trapped. The blank walls at times accommodate doors and apparent windows. Props are wheeled on and off. Sound, designed by Benjamin Grant, is often sharp, discordant and industrial, setting us on edge. For example, a pneumatic drill accompanies the woman giving birth. Although sometimes there is the more comforting sound of a spiritual. Adam Silverman's lighting design is stark, sometimes strobe, and on a couple of occasions disconcertingly pitch black. One of those times is the moment she experiences sexual ecstasy with her lover, played by Pierre O'Neill Mee. Significantly, this and other key transformative moments in the woman's life are not actually shown, which means we're not distracted from the way she is abused and crushed by the men who rule her life, and by society as a whole. It occurred to me, and I don't mean this analogy to offend any Christians watching, that the scenes are almost like the Stations of the Cross, which depict Jesus heading for his crucifixion. we don't gain a lot of insight into the woman's character. Although a modern audience might suspect she has mental issues of some kind, she is deliberately portrayed as quite ordinary, boring even. She's an everywoman. The play doesn't excuse her actions, but it does try to explain the pressures that led her in the direction she took. What is great about this expressionist play and Rosie Sheehy's anguished performance is that we experience at a molecular level the woman being torn apart. Yes, there are moments when it becomes melodramatic, but the 1 hour, 50 minutes without interval fly by in this gripping production. I give Machinal 4 stars. It is incidentally rated the best value West End show on my website, Theatre.Reviews, which aggregates the critics' average rating and the price of a ticket. Coincidentally, there's a new exhibition just up the road at Tate Modern, which looks at a group of Expressionist artists from the early 1900s who were called Blue Rider and included Vasily Kandinsky, Gabriela Münter and Marianne Verefkin. Given the feminist standpoint of Machinal, it's interesting that Blue Rider included and respected female artists, which certainly wasn't the case with Sophie Treadwell working in theatre. The range of work, from the clearly representational to virtually abstract, shows that the common feature of Expressionism is an attempt to use shape and colour to convey the feeling of a person or place, rather than the more visually accurate observations made by their predecessors, such as the Impressionists. There are times when you enter a room and it's like the paint has been thrown in your face. It's well worth seeing. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it useful. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe to this channel and you'll be the first to know about my future reviews. You can also read my reviews and my roundups of other critics' reviews at Theatre.Reviews. And you can follow me on social media. Thank you for watching.